Namaste everyone, welcome. Today I wanted to share with you a little bit about the concept and the experience of God, the universe, the spirit. You can prepare your tea or your coffee and just make some space to listen, connect and stay open. I know lots of us, as we are starting our spiritual journey and go deeper into that, as we discover that there is something more than us, there is this powerful force that is guiding us, that is guiding life and the whole universe. And sometimes it might just feel like too much. Sometimes we feel like we want to keep experiencing this power, this creation power, this beauty, but we don't really know what it is, or we are even a little bit afraid of that, or we don't know how to call it. And in our world there are just so many words that can pretty much express very often the same thing or the same concept, but it really depends on what word you feel connected to. So lots of people, when they hear the word God, is a little bit uncomfortable for them or is triggering something in them based on their past beliefs, on their upbringing as well, the childhood and all that. That's why this word God, as we are starting to opening up to this powerful universal energy, might feel a bit weird. And that's how it felt for me as well at first. I was completely not feeling it, and I used to always just call it universe, call it the source, call it just the prana energy, the life force energy that is flowing through us. And it's okay, you know, like as long as you are in this awareness, as long as you are opening up to the working of this love, of this peace within you, of this creative power, it doesn't really matter how you call it, as long as you are conscious that this force, that this energy exists and is for sure higher than us. There are still a lot of people who just think that the humankind is like the highest form in the universe, but of course there is something more powerful than us, something that has created the earth, something that is kind of holding all the universe together without it falling down. There are those special forces, there are those energies that are scientifically and physically proven to exist, right? Each one of us as well has their own energy. But when you are starting with lots of different mindfulness practices, when you start to acknowledge the present moment and keep connecting to the present moment, when you start doing meditation, when you start breathing deeper and focusing on your breath, when you start doing different yoga practices, different exercises, everything that is connecting you to this inner space, to this inner love within, you kind of develop this wanting and this desire to feel God, to feel this higher power, to know more about it, to be more connected to it. And it's so beautiful, like the first step of just acknowledging it, just acknowledging that something higher than us humans exists in the world, and it is the energy, it is real, and we can really feel it, we can really experience it, we can really feel how it works. It's a beautiful step. It's like you are opening your heart to receive it, to receive all the abundance and all the divine wisdom and all of that. And when it comes to the concept of God, to the experience of God, I know lots of us feel kind of triggered or just not comfortable hearing the word God. God for me is pure, unconditional love. It's this energy that is within me and within every person I meet. It's this energy that is in nature, in every tree, in every beautiful flower, in the sunshine, in the moon. It's the energy that is in the wind, in the water, in the sky. God is everywhere, in everything, expressing itself, expressing the love through all the different forms. It's like big ocean, and each one of us is a drop in this ocean. It's pure presence, it's pure power, it's pure unconditional love. And for me before as well, I really used to love God, but my relationship with God was completely different. I come from a Christian family, and lots of my family members and friends as well always used to go to church. We were just brought in this Christian environment, in Christian faith, which is, on one side, it was really nice, really amazing, because my connection to God, my connection to this higher power and my faith was developing throughout the years. But then I just started to realize that religion is super limiting us, that religion is really limiting how we think and what we do and what we think we can or cannot do, what is or isn't acceptable from the church, right? And I think when I was like 17 or 18 is when I started to realize that I don't want to be limited by religion. I don't want to be limited by this image of God that lots of people have created, that God is just this person or a creature that is somewhere in the sky, in the heavens, and is just looking at us and is judging us and it's punishing us, and that we should be afraid of him, right? Like this image completely didn't resonate with me anymore. So I felt like there is something more to it, there is something more to explore. And a few years later, when I started practicing meditation, when I started opening up to this world of awareness, I started just not being interested in this image of God or this concept of God, you know. I was always saying that, oh, like I'm connecting to the universe is guiding me, the universe is helping me, all of that. The life force or the source. There are so many different ways that we can call it. So I completely kind of turned away from God, from this picture of God in my head. But then, even after opening more to this powerful space within, to the love within, and after practicing yoga with so many amazing teachers who have been focusing more on the philosophy, on the deep breaths, and on the presence of the spirit within, it has really connected me back to God, connected me back to this higher force, and I just started using this word God for this pure unconditional love, for this force that is here within me, that is so alive within me, and this force that I could see in everyone's eyes, in everyone's soul as well, right? So God has, like this concept of God has completely changed for me into something so much more powerful. And I honestly feel like right now my connection with God and my relationship with God is just so much more beautiful and so much more pure than it was during all the 17 or 18 years of my Christian practice of going to church, of praying, saying the same prayer every day, but completely not consciously doing all of this just because other people were doing it, or because I thought it was anyway some kind of help always, it was some kind of support. So I think that each one of us, it's really important to have this space of connection with the higher power. And it really doesn't matter how you call it. You can call it love. Like, I'm going to pray for love or to love. I'm going to connect with love. I'm going to ask love for guidance. You can say the same with the universe. You can say the same with the source, the spirit. This concept is just our thoughts, right? This is all in our thoughts, but the most important is what we feel here inside. The most important is how we experience this force, how we experience it in everyday lives, like when we have to ask for help, where we are grateful. Because of course all the people just go to God or to this higher force when they are feeling really down, when they are feeling like no person can help them, they can't help themselves, so they are turning to this higher force, to the universe or to God to help them and to guide them. But it's also so important to keep this connection every day, not only when we feel bad, but also on the days when we feel amazing, just acknowledging the presence of divine, acknowledging the presence in the flowers, in all the nature that is surrounding us, in the fire, in our breath, because it's alive here within us. It's not like we are separate from it. It's not like God is there, somewhere there, and we are here. God is here as well. It's here and now. So just being open to this presence with gratitude, with love, with an open heart, with saying thank you, with saying I love you, with sharing all the happy moments, but also sharing any pain, any suffering. This is our space where we can go to and we can connect whatever time of the day it is, however we feel, whatever emotions and thoughts are going on through our head, through our body. This is a space of awareness. This is a space that is never changing. This is a space that is constant, that is stability, that is pure flow, that is just giving us, you know? God is not asking us to give Him something in return. God is pure love, just wants us to give. It's not punishing us if we do bad, or it's not judging us, right? Like, pure love is not judging, pure love is not punishing. So these religious concepts of God are maybe good for some people if they resonate with that, but we don't have to resonate with that. We can go a little bit wider and a little bit further than religion. We can just turn back to love, turn back to our soul, our heart, knowing that God is alive in our soul. The life force is alive here and now. And honestly, like, this connection with the higher source, this connection with God has changed so much the way I look at the world and the way I look at other people, the way I share myself with the world, the way I acknowledge some things that are happening, situations that are happening, and how I deal with them. This space of God, of the source within me, of the love, is just giving so much power, so much strength that is coming from within, and so much inspiration, motivation, all of that, right? Like, we don't have to go too deep in the mind and be like, oh, like, what is God? Like, who is God? Like, where does He live? And like, No, instead of going too much to your mind, just turn back to your heart, turn back to your soul. Our soul is so much more intelligent on so many levels than our mind. So I really hope you will keep opening up to this divine creation, opening up to this divine presence that is here and now, and experience God, like open to your own experience. You can listen about God so much, you can talk to people about it, but the best way of knowing something is to experience it by ourselves, right? So stay open to this energy, to this constant flow within you, and you will experience so much abundance. You will experience so much love and so much power, so much kindness and so much compassion. Okay, so I hope these words have brought some peace into your heart, and I just wanted to share about this because I know lots of people have different misconceptions about God and how it all works, but of course for each person is so different, so this is just like my personal journey sharing, and feel free to share in the comments how you feel about it. How is your relationship with God, with the universe, with the source? How do you prefer to call it? And yeah, how do you feel about this all? Like, I love sharing, I love hearing from you. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm sending you so much love, so many blessings, and so much divine energy. Namaste.